closed doors, I'm a fool for your love.
My name is Anthony, and welcome back to Sports Fan Entertainment. It is the Anthony James Show, and today it is time now to look at the NFC South. Before you're starting your questions of, hey, why are you wearing a Denver Broncos shirt? Go to my channel, watch pretty much any Broncos video I made, and I'll probably explain in that video why I have a Broncos shirt. Because I know you're looking Vikings background, Broncos shirt, what the heck. Just go there, because I know you're already getting ready to comment that. So with that being said, let's talk about this NFC South. Oh boy, the NFC South. What I love about this division is there's no other division in football with better quarterbacks. Every team has a good quarterback. You have 3 teams in which a quarterback's won the MVP. Not just a Super Bowl MVP, no, an NFL MVP. Best player in the league. That's just astounding to me. Plus, you have Adrian Peterson, who won the MVP for the Saints, but it was when he was a Viking. All that being said, like, really, take away Drew Brees, I'd straight up trade Sam Bradford or Teddy Bridgewater for any of these quarterbacks. Only reason I wouldn't do Drew Brees is because he's going to be 39 by the end of the season. I don't want an old quarterback. I'll gamble on a young guy. That being said, what kind of sucks for these 4 teams is even though they all have good quarterbacks, I can't say that's a benefit. Spoiler alert, when I do the AFC South, the Colts are going to get an extra benefit because they have Andrew Luck. These 4 teams don't get that extra benefit. So with that being said, let's move on to the rest of the team. Because I look at the Saints, and a lot of people I hear this year are going to be like, oh, any of these teams could win double digits. And to an extent, I'd agree with that. I think the Saints' chance is the smallest of these 4 teams because, once again, it's a poor defense. They decide to instead go and address a player like Adrian Peterson on offense. Because with all the cap space the Saints have, why not spend money on a running back and then draft a running back high when you already have a running back in Mark Ingram? That's a smart decision. So the Saints now have 3 running backs. Why? See, with the Saints, I'd say their offense, because of Drew Brees, will be decent. The offensive line, they've already lost a starter before the season began. So it's hurting. It looks better now that they spent their first-round draft pick on an offensive lineman. But the defense, I still have issues with. I'm not a big Dennis Allen fan when it comes to defensive coordinator, and I'm really not a big Sean Payton fan, especially on defense. He's not a defensive-minded coach. There's some coaches who are really good on their side of the ball. Sean Payton is one of them. But on the other side, they are not good, and again, Sean Payton is one of them. This defense isn't good. However, they spent their first-round pick, their other first-round pick, on arguably the best cornerback in the draft. That is huge. That is huge for the Saints. It might not pay off year 1. Cornerbacks probably have the roughest transition in year 1. So it's fine. I don't think any Saints fan are expecting a Super Bowl this year. But let's be honest, of these 4 teams, I'm probably really down on the Saints the most. I think they have the least chance of winning this division. I'm not saying number 1 overall pick like I did last year. But losing record, yes, there's a reason this team's gone 7-9 3 straight years. How bad they will be? If they can do 7-9, I'd be happy as a Saints fan. Let's put it that way. Then you have 3 other teams where I could see any of them winning the division. I could see them all winning double-digit games. I could see them all in the playoffs. These 3 teams are good for their various reasons. Let's start out with the defending NFC champions, the Atlanta Falcons. Unfortunately, they blew that lead. We all know about it. 28-3 they lost. We know that. But now you go into the offseason, and it's strange to me because I look at this team and, you know, as much as I want to knock them and be like, I don't know about their chances this year, they actually had a pretty good offseason. I'd say there's not much I want to complain about. They bring in Dontari Poe. For the defense, they spent high picks on the defense, which of the 2 sides definitely needed more help on the defense. So I like those additions. Very good moves for the Atlanta Falcons. The problem is you're coming off that devastating defeat, and how much will that loss hinder what you want to do this coming season. I don't know. I don't know if that's going to be gone and forgotten about last season or if that's going to carry over into the next. That happened to the Panthers. In your own division, you witnessed that happen. The Panthers had a very bad season last year, and I think you could blame their Super Bowl loss on that. Maybe not all the blame, but I think part of the blame can go to that. They had a hard time recovering from that, and I think we're going to see that in the Falcons. And unfortunately, when you're in a tough division, because let's be honest, the Saints aren't that bad of a team. I could see the Saints sweep either the Panthers, the Falcons, or the Buccaneers. I could see any of those teams get swept by the Saints. So let's not count out the Saints in that regard. The Falcons, how good will they be? I don't know. I think this can be a double-digit win team. I'll make my decision come the end of August when I actually have to pick who's winning the division, who's going to the playoffs, and all that. So I'm not saying you'll hear a lot of people say, "Oh, the Falcons are not going to do well next season," and I won't be surprised if that occurs. However, don't count out the Falcons. How good will they be? If I had to pick a record right now, I think 10-6. I think 10-6 is in the realm of possibility. Now let's talk about the two fun teams, the Panthers and the Buccaneers. Because at least in my mind, you can kind of expect the Saints won't be that good, mainly because they're in a tough division. The Falcons, they can be what they were last year, probably not win 11 games, but 10, at least have a winning record. I think that's possible. Panthers, who knows? You have Cam Newton. Cam Newton's such a weird quarterback because if you look at him, one season he does well, the next season he does poor, and that's consistently been his NFL career. So if you're a Panthers fan, you should be happy. This year is his up year. He should do well. Will that happen? I think it can. I really do. Kelvin Benjamin being overweight, that's kind of worrisome. But you bring in Christian McCaffrey. I really like that addition. It's weird, though, because he's a first-round draft pick. And I think he should have been a first-round draft pick. However, should he have been? What I mean by is I think he should have gone in the first round. However, do I want to be the team that selects him in the first round? I'm not sure. I'm not saying he's going to be bad, but where do you put him? Do you put him at wide receiver? Do you put him at running back? Can he be that 20, 30 down back? Can he have that many carries a game? I'm not sure. Is he going to be a player that you start out at running back and eventually transition to wide receiver? I don't know, but is it a good thing you have a lot of options, or is it a bad thing you have a lot of options with Christian McCaffrey? I don't really know. I think either way, they have a good player in Christian McCaffrey, and that's a positive. Jonathan Stewart's getting older. It's nice to have a replacement for him. Ron Rivera, I think, is a really good head coach. I think he's the best coach in this division. No doubt in my mind. Dan Quinn, I think, could give him a run for his money, but that's about it. I really like Ron Rivera, which is funny because a few years ago he was on the hot seat, and now I think he's one of the better coaches in the NFL. But you have Cam Newton. I'm sorry. I'm a Jameis Winston fan. Matt Ryan's your reigning MVP. Drew Brees has consistently been one of the best quarterbacks in the league. But of these four, I'll take Cam Newton over the other three. So yeah, maybe I'll give the Panthers a quarterback benefit there because I think he's the best quarterback in this division. How good will the Panthers be? I think we could see them win double-digit games too. I think this could be a 10-6 team. Again, will it happen? I don't know. A spoiler alert. Buccaneers are going to be a double-digit win team, too. I don't think all three of them will win double-digit games, though. That will be a prediction I make come August, but I think 10-6 is a reasonable expectation for the Panthers. I think the Panthers can and will be a good team next year, and really, if I had to bet which team's going to be the better team, I'd probably go with the Panthers over the Falcons, even though I think the Falcons have a better overall team. Although the Panthers have the better overall quarterback. To finish off, though, the Buccaneers. I have been so high on the Buccaneers since last year, since before the season started, because I said the Buccaneers would go 9-7, barely miss the playoffs, and be a contender for the division in a year from now. All that has come true. And I think I'm going to go with the Buccaneers to win the division. I'll go with it now in the middle of July, and I think come the end of August, I will still go with that, even if I think the Falcons or the Panthers are better than them. At the end of the day, they have the youngest quarterback in the division, and they have a bright future. Deshaun Jackson coming in, that is huge. That is a nice addition to add to Mike Evans, because he really hasn't had a complement to him. Now he does, and now Jameis Winston finally has a good option next to Mike Evans. And if I'm a Buccaneers fan, I'm super pumped about that. They draft O.J. Howard in the first round. Now you have a really good tight end option. Hopefully your running game and Doug Martin starts to improve. We'll see if that happens or not. Defensively, it's not that bad considering Dirk Cotter is an offensive mind. And I think we'll see the defense continue to improve. I'm really excited, let's say. If I'm a Buccaneers fan, I'm probably the most excited in this division. Keep that excitement down, though. Trust me as a Vikings fan. When a young team is built, you don't want to get your expectations up right away. I could see them having a similar season to the Vikings, what they did a year ago. I think a lot of people came in expecting the Vikings to be a contender for their division, probably be a wild card team, and they ended up winning the division. I could see the Buccaneers in the same boat. I don't think a lot of people will pick them for the division. I probably will, like I said. Not 100% sure, when I make my decision at the end of August, then it's official. But for now, I probably will go with the Buccaneers. And if I'm a Buccaneers fan, get ready. This is going to be an exciting season. How far will they go? I don't know. Will they keep the tradition alive of an NFC South team representing the Super Bowl? Who knows? But I'm really excited if I'm a Buccaneers fan. Since I gave the Falcons and I gave the Panthers 10 wins, I'll give the Buccaneers 11 just to show I'm the highest on this team. Even though I do think the Panthers roster is probably better overall, I think the Buccaneers have what it takes to win the division. Tell me what you think about the NFC South in the comments below, though. I'm really excited about this division. A couple years ago, it was the worst in football. Now, I think it's probably the best in football. And even though I don't have a bone in this fight, it doesn't matter who wins the division to me. I'm excited to see how this division goes down next year. So again, give me your thoughts and opinions in the comments below. If you're new to me, you can follow me on Twitter at AnthonyJamesTV. Subscribe to my channel, Anthony James TV, for more NFL videos. Both links in the description. Of course, subscribe to Sports Fan Entertainment. Thank you for watching today's video, and until next time, this is Anthony. I'm out.
Behind closed doors, I'm a fool for your love.